Hello and welcome back to Surviving Mars. In the last episode, I finished the remaining two wonders, the space elevator and Project Mohole, and they now work together to export rare metals every day, so I get this funding received message all the time. I also increased the colony's population to almost 900 now, because I am currently aiming to finish the remaining two of the milestones, which is having 1,000 colonists and then having 40% of them work in the workshops. So that's what I'm currently basically doing. When I was cutting the footage of the last episode, I noticed some things that I need to work on. So first of all, colonists in the senior domes, they don't have access to medical checks, which is somewhat of a problem. Maybe not for this guy because he's composed, but fairly certain I can find colonists who are working the night shift. Yeah, this guy. He's working the night shift, and there's might also be some hypochondriacs in here. He has very low sanity, and he can't get to any medical checks to increase his sanity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an infirmary in this dome, so these colonists have access, and also in this dome, so colonists from this senior dome have access. However, I have to remove one of the diners here to actually make space. That's not a big deal. I think I have enough services. Diners are not very important. They only give dining social food. Dining is only important for these engineers. They have a dining interest, and for gluttons. But glutton is a trait that I can remove. I'm actually... this should maybe just be thumbs up. Same for glutton. I'm not entirely certain if the other sanatorium is actually removing this trait. Yes, doing this, I'm going to remove it here so that the colonists can be split up between the two sanatoriums. Once glutton is removed, the colonists don't have interest in dining anymore, so it only remains social and food they can get from the grocer, or in worst case scenario from food depot, and social they can get from the open air gyms or from the hanging gardens actually. So that's perfect. However, they can't get medical checks from any other building than from obviously medical buildings. So we're going to place one down here, probably the same for over here. His sanity is getting low. Her sanity is like terrible as well. So that's something I didn't think of when I removed this other passage here once. I can't replace any of these security stations with an infirmary because, as you can see, even if there's like 3 security stations running right now, the Renegade 29 is still too much. They still commit crimes. I just finished apparently another one of these seed projects. So terraforming is also looking very promising. And something else I noticed as well was that this dome was calling in idiots. That's something I'm not longer going to do. But it also has specialists in here, and this leads to this dome having children anyways. I don't know why, and it's having seniors, probably because it's a senior specialist. So that's something that I want to remove, and the same over here because that should make room for colonists to work the remaining jobs. So there's 4 missing here. And there's 3 missing here. However, I have one more option. I can set this polymer factory to automation, and this should, there's also more slots here. This should reduce the amount of workers in the dome. If this doesn't work out, I'm going to not have any engineers in this dome, and then there should be enough colonists to work all the jobs. Engineers could be down here, and yeah, stay here, and then still work the polymer factory with lower work efficiency, with lower working performance, but it doesn't really matter. I have more than enough polymers, so I'm not worrying about this. And then what I want to do, I just remove the idiots from the other dome. I want to have the idiots in this dome. Again, can't break anything because there's only services here, supposed to be at least. I'm going to have people not work in other domes. And then they can only break services which require concrete to be fixed, and there's more than enough concrete over here with this concrete extractor and waste rock processor. There's probably children here. Yes, I didn't store the children. It's again a problem because they can't do playing. That's also something I've seen, and so I'm going to have another hanging garden here now. So children can get playing or can do playing, but I also need to slow down colonies growth. I don't want to end up with, I don't know, 1,500 colonists. As far as I remember, the food production was still covering for all my needs, but I need to keep an eye on this. If I ever run low on stockpile, then I need to build another second open farm. This should not be a big deal because of the soil quality. I currently don't have a seed vegetation mission, so I'm not going to do anything like this. Yeah, this guy just had his sanity restored by the infirmary, so that's fine. I mean, they also get comfort from this building, relaxation, and medical check, so that's
funding received.
Not bad, but the hanging garden actually has a higher relaxation. Okay, so this Wire One Dome currently has seniors, so the same problem is here as with the other dome. It should not have seniors. It can have children for now since I built the hanging garden, and this dome is fine over here. However, the colony currently has 16 idiot colonists who can work, but this dome has only 14. So 2 are missing, and I don't know where they are. I'm going to take a look around. Always very annoying because this overview here doesn't tell me where they are. I mean, this person is in the sanatorium, so I know that he's at least
funding
not
received.
In this dome. He is having his lazy trait replaced with that. That's okay. If he breaks the sanatorium, well, polymer maintenance is not too bad. So, in this person, she's working in the Martian University, and I don't know why. She's not supposed to be there.
Research complete.
Maybe the reason for this is that I call in adults, so she shouldn't come here. This dome should call in youth, so that makes sense. But adults not really necessary. They should just stay there if they're adults. So it's probably a better setting to just allow adults, but don't call them. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't need that many trained colonists anyway. As far as I know. Yeah, there's only very few that need to be trained. Something else? Yeah, I replaced this diner with a grocer. So the dome now has 24 grocer capacity and 20 diner. It's a better layout, I think. Infirmary, which is being visited quite a bit. Not that much. If it was the only source of relaxation, but colonists are going to hanging gardens for that. So that's just fine. So the idiots are not working because they don't have jobs here. That's something I can easily change. Some should have an open air gym, although it's not very important because the colonists can just go here. So it's not going to get an open air. This dome, however, doesn't need a medical building because they can go here or here. So that's fine. It will need a security station. The security station can be worked by idiots. Maintenance also just concrete, so I don't really care about it. I can have one projector lamp. Also an outside building, but here at the inside. One statue currently. Okay, disease. I'm not sure what this story does, so let's find out together. I can lose 40% of my medics, which is no. Gives some standing though, with Church of the Last Ark, Church of the New Ark. I don't care too much about this, but that would stop all the story bits forever. However, I don't want the negative story bits to end forever because there's one that I wouldn't mind being triggered, and that's the gaming tournament, because I am paradox. So I can lose, all colonists lose 5 morale, and I lose some standing. I mean, bleh. Okay, but I can also gain 20 colonists, and all 10% of all colonists get chronic condition. That's not very nice. I mean, that's like 94 chronic condition, but the sanatorium will just heal it. So I don't really care about this this negative effect. This dome is probably going to be filled in a moment now because attracting chronic condition. But yeah, as of that, the sanatorium will just take care of this. I'm going to do chronic condition in this dome as well, so that this sanatorium can also work on this. Oh, that's perfect. With behavioral and mending, that means that their flaws, their new gained flaws for chronic condition, will be replaced by another trait, a positive one. So that's actually a benefit. I was building more structures here. That's probably still not enough, although this building is now fully worked. Still some unemployed here. I'll build more grocers and diners. Doesn't matter if they're being used right now or not. They don't need a spacebar. They can have their relaxation met here or in one of the medical spires once I built them. We're still very good on housing slots. I think the housing slots in these houses count, although the buildings are turned off. Not going to repair those yet, but once we are having... well, we need to keep this in mind. Once we're having unhoused colonists. Oh, I completely forgot that I had this meteor storm. So these drones can pick up much. Oh, that's why. The chance that this building can't work anymore because there's no metal to store and it can't store metal in here. And at some point probably concrete as well, but... oh, another Vista just spawned. I wish there was a notification or some indication where it spawned. Now I have to look around again. Not this one. None of these. Yeah, no idea where. If you see it, let me know. So when I started this episode, I had 900 food in here. Now it's only 720. So food's going down, which is still fine. I'm wondering if it's drones that are... no, this drone up has 38 drones, and they're all working. So that's okay.
Anomaly analyzed.
What I need is
Research complete.
another open
Funding
farm.
received.
You shot the farm. I need another open farm. Currently wondering, I should build a scrubber. The farm should also be in range of drones.
Milestone achieved.
Oh, nice. Oh. The should also be in range of a drone hub. What's not working currently? Yeah, forestation plant. What else is not working? You have too much metal, okay. You do have too many machine. This metal extractor also, and one grocer is not working because it has no work. I can place the open farm like this. Good, and then this scrubber is the farm's in range of this scrubber, and this scrubber is in range of the other ones. Perfect. And this farm is in range of this drone hub, but I can store food over here. Then it's in range of this drone hub as well, and it's in range of this drone hub. Only question remains, okay, soil quality is 95% in range. Average, 100, I'm going to do cover crop. Okay, and then we just need to store food, which can be easily done. Yes, they are in range. Another range of this drone up here. Where is it? So 2 more on this.
Funding received.
Okay, now the mower is working again. But yeah, I'm going to have too much metal to actually do anything meaningful with it. I can refine it into machine parts and then burn the machine parts in the biorobotics workshop. Another seed vegetation, so sledgehammer. Not entirely certain why there's 47 unemployed and they're not moving over here to work the diner. Anyone should be able. Yeah, food's definitely going down, so it's correct choice to build another open farm. Officers just stopped some crime, that's good. Although that's it's not really clear how the system works because it says I need more security officers to prevent crime, but apparently they still did.
Research complete.
Looks like the game gave up on telling me that the metal extractor is not working. Rocket's on its way, so we're going to reach 77% at the moment. And Farmer 1 is the other, Renegade Dome. It's the other Senior Dome of all the Renegades. This makes actually, if you play with like the Rebel Call game rule, this makes the Forever Young breakthrough very, very powerful, because then you don't have to care about the renegade, or actually you don't have to care about the seniors being pulled into one senior dome, and then the renegades accumulate. Honestly, don't know why this dome has so few renegades. Kind of confusing. What we can do is actually place down the first of the new workshops, just a biorobotic workshop over here, like this, and then these people can, if they're not children, they can work in the biorobotic workshop. However, actually the officers from this dome should be in this dome and work the security station. With the game rule, actually some of them should turn into renegades, no matter if they have like 100 morale. Seems a bit buggy. Some unemployed here and actually some homeless. I don't know why there's a homeless person in this dome. There's a lot of unemployed people here, so that is actually a problem, because they're not leaving this dome because they don't have a reason to right now. Another visitor just spawned, but first we're going to look at the Starman Award nominee, because this is just some guy who just died apparently. That is very unfortunate for you. And we have a leak over here. So take care, guys. One of these workshops, so people can move into this dome, and we're not yet at the point where we'll slow down growth. But I do have way too many children. And this dome needs fire. Okay, this medical center is being built, and we can do rejuvenation and holographic scanning. I don't have any polymer over here.
Research complete.
I'm still considering to build another polymer factory, but not for now. Some unemployed are here, but that's fine. They're still unemployed in this dome. So maybe we should have another go on dome service spy robotics. I think the Rebel Yell rule bugged out, because I'm not getting any renegades anymore. There should be more renegades. Can't do anything about it. Maybe if I save and load the game? Probably going to give this a try. Also restarted the game. Let's see. What's your deal? Filled with metal again. Well.
Funding received.
This looks like the numbers going up. 1/5 of this dome should be renegades, so that's like 20 something. There's 4 unemployed. Why are you not moving out and find a job? Fairly certain there's housing spots over here, but there's no jobs over here. Some jobs here, but no housing. Okay. More biorobotics workshops. You could do art workshops. So the difference between those three workshops is the resource they take, of course, and how many are working per tile. So what's going on here? Why are you not transporting food? These drones are actually supposed to carry food from the food depots here to over here. There's no food down here. Maybe this should be higher.
Funding received.
Another seed vegetation mission. So sledgehammer 3, another round. Okay, I think it's time to slow down colonists growth again by turning off births in all domes, like this, and only allow them in this dome, this medium dome over here, this mega dome. Then we need to find out, but because there's lots of people in this dome, actually, soon at least, we should have enough births. Having 77 unemployed now. All these buildings are filled. We're going to have more workshops, 2 more apartments. All the workshops are filled again. Another 3. So time to repair the drone assembler that was destroyed a long time ago by some renegades. This should be max priority, so people work here. Doesn't need to be only special. Need more machine parts over here. I'm actually considering starting to produce some here from all this metal, as I said earlier. Use a lot of, and its numbers only going up as more people work these structures. This dome has 32 vacant spots, so I better fill it with more apartments. 16 renegades in this dome now. Still some seem to spawn, but I don't really know. Yeah, all their comfort is like 100. Shopping, playing. Okay, well that's relaxation. Okay, we don't have drinking. That is actually something I maybe you should get. Fuel refinery is not working because I have too much fuel. Okay, the amount of children is
Funding
going down.
received.
Just what I wanted to have. I want to stick around at like 1,000 colonists. Okay, some things I noticed when I was cutting the footage. So first of all, quite apparently there's no trees here, and I was wondering why is there no trees. This forestation plan is not set up to trees. So yeah, that was a mistake. I think there's a chance that the whole renegade mechanics not really understood very well because it's not documented very well. Maybe only one renegade can spawn per day or something like that. I thought it was one per dome, but this doesn't really add up because there's 22 colonists in this dome, and they have been in this dome for quite a while, but there's only one renegade here, and there should be 1/5 of these should be renegades, so 4 of them should be renegades. So this is something I don't really know and I don't really understand. But that's fine. Something else I noticed, too much fuel in a fuel refinery over here, so I built 2 more depots. However, what I didn't realize is that I started this mission a while ago, but it has exactly 0 fuel. Or it has 60 fuel and it's just missing this. I'm not entirely certain, but it has no fuel to be launched, so I should actually bring some fuel over to continue my terraforming efforts. However, this doesn't really matter. Another seed vegetation mission can just spawn, so we are fine on this front. And we have 100 unemployed colonists now, so the best course of action is probably... There's still some housing slots here, but no jobs. If I look at comfort, playing seems to be a problem, but that's because children are here, and this is the problem that would solve itself once the number of children goes down from 69 to 44 or less, because then it can be in their children domes, and then we should be good. However, something I need to do is take care of the 109 unemployed now, so that is exactly 5 apartments, and it also translates into 5. Actually more than 5 biorobotic workshops. Currently considering to build a VR workshop, because this dome is a bit smaller, missing the inner building spot. So we're going to have 2 VR workshops here and 1 biorobotics workshop. And I'm also going to do what I said earlier. I'm going to build another factory for machine parts to produce the machine parts that are needed in these 2 domes. This rocket's on its way now, so very good. There's also a lot of fuel here now, so next mission can also be parked here. However, I can also use, I guess this is Knight Rider 2. There's seeds all over my colony now. Again, way too much metal over here. I don't know what to do with it. Actually becoming a problem. I tried to fix this problem, but now I don't get rare metal anymore. And I exported a lot of it. Don't know if there's statistics on how much I ever exported. Total export, yeah. 13 billion. So I built 2 of these VR workshops and 1 biorobotics workshop. So that's 30, 60, 78. That's still not the 100 I wanted to have. So I need at least 2 more of these biorobotic workshops. Also, I need to make sure that I can extend the colony in some direction. I'm going to have 1 more of these and an apartment. Oh, and this dome also needs a spire, of course. Medical center spire. Burning through our machine parts over here, that's fine though. I do have an RC transport over here that can take care of this problem. If I can find my machine parts, they're over here. This factory was finished. We do amplify AI automation in this order, and we fill it with just specialists. There is enough housing slots here. Only specialists work the medical center. New project, seed vegetation, perfect. Going to send, as I said, not Sledgehammer 1. Or maybe Sledgehammer 1, what does it still makes no difference. Still 65 unemployed. But there's housing slots here, and there's lots to work here in a moment as well. And this dome also should get probably 2 security stations. So I just run the numbers, and apparently I have 357 slots in workshops for my colonists. that is not enough. I need 40% of 1200, but that's not correct because you can you don't need to provide workplaces for children and seniors because they don't work, so it's only 1080 colonists roughly. 40% of that is 432.
Active research. Research complete.
However, I'm going to end this episode for now, so see you next time when I'm going to deal with the remaining workshop workplaces.